Good day, dear learners. So already we have completed the first part in JavaScript that we have discussed the fundas pertaining to variable, constant, operators, how to write a function, everything that we have seen. So that is a normal contents that we will see in all programming languages or packages. But the flavor of JavaScript starts now because JavaScript has another phase in this. What is that? So for those things only will make the JavaScript unique. JavaScript completely work based on objects. Objects means uh, either you can create your own object or pertaining to browser we have large number of built-in objects are available. Using your own created object you can manipulate those objects also. You can copy the exact work of what the browser will do that can be simulated towards that object, and you can play with that object to exhibit the behavior of browser in a different way, right? So likewise, interesting things that you could able to do by playing with the browser objects. So that's the thing, and that is another phase of JavaScript. So we will insert this by conveying JavaScript objects, right? So how we could able to create an object in JavaScript by using two terms, nothing but properties and method. Okay, so it has a state as well as it has a behavior. So I think we have given some objects, right? So car has a property, car has a state, it is in on or off mode. So it must have a behavior. So depending upon the acceleration, depending upon the brake, the actions will get to take place, right? So JavaScript is an object-based language. Here it doesn't synchronize with the term object-oriented programming. It doesn't mean like that. Okay, but some of the constructs will come in that way. But actually, the term object represents browser objects very specifically. Okay, so to manipulate the browser objects, what are all the other supporting objects are available in JavaScript? Okay, so that's the idea. So that's what they are mentioning. It's not class based. It's template based. Okay. So directly we can create objects. Normally in object-oriented programming, how we will do? Class name obj equal to new class name. Likewise, we will create an object, right? By using the class name. But here no need to mention any classes. Directly can create object. That is the main idea behind JavaScript objects. Right? How can you create an object by object literal? Okay, so you could able to see like a dictionary pattern in your Python the same way. So I have created a variable emp. Ultimately, that is going to serve me as an object. Okay, so within emp, I am having I have ready to declare that ID, name, salary are the properties of that object, and the values has been given as 102 Shyam Kumar 40,000. Okay, so if I need to retrieve that values, I could able to mention object dot attribute or object dot property. I could able to yield that corresponding value that has been discussed very clearly. So this is a way that you could able to create an object, and you could able to define the property as well as I could able to assign value to that property. So that is what we have seen here. See, this will get to execute in a browser. No need to worry about that. Okay, but what is actually an object will do? I'll show you in for fifth, sixth slide. Okay, so these are all the things to demonstrate what the objects will do in the front end. Okay, visibly what it can do. That's what we are showing here. In another way, how can I instantiate an object? Okay, so here I could be able to using the var as a variable. I'm creating a corresponding object. I'm typecasting with the basic class object. Already I have conveyed you. Object is the base class for all the available classes in any programming languages. That's what I have conveyed. So it differ. Maybe the derived classes will differ in pertaining to programming languages. So this is a way where EMP equal to using new keyword object O capital letter. This is a built-in object. Okay. So by that I am directly creating a property and I am assigning a value emp dot id. Okay, so I am assigning a value not one. So likewise I have created three properties for the object and I am ready to display it in the browser window, right? So this is the second way. So initially within curly brace like a dictionary we have assigned the property with the value. Here we have created the object dynamically. So direct like a static assumption of value towards the property of the object that was done here. This is also you can execute and see it in the browser. Next, using the object constructor. Okay, using the object constructor. There is no much difference between the previous program and this program. Here we have created the object and assigned it statically, but here I could be able to pass it as an argument. Okay, so I have a function emp. I am passing three arguments. All those three arguments are being assigned with the current value which are available in the EMP. That has to be identified using the keyword this. This is used to point towards the current object. So here the current object is going to be your E. Okay, E equal to new EMP of 103, comma Vimal Aiswal, comma 30,000. These values will pass to ID, name, salary. This dot ID, this refers to E here. Okay, so if you want to see very implicitly, E dot ID, E dot name, E dot salary. So instead of using E, I have used the keyword this. That's it. Okay, this is used to point towards the current object's reference. So that's what those values will get to be entered here. The advantage of using such method is whenever I'm going to work with multiple data, no need to change the variables now and then. So it's enough to go with multiple number of objects so that I could be able to pass different values. That's the reason why this method could be an efficient one. Okay. So that's the thing. So using these three ways, I could be able to create an object. So like a dictionary in Python. So I could be able to using new keyword by typecasting with the or by assigning with the basic class object. Third one, so I could be able to use as a constructor, right? So here a method name and method name is being mapped over with the object. So these are the three ways that I could be able to create the object. So all these three programs will run in browser. Now, what is actually will happen when I am going to create an object? What is actually will happen when I am going to create a property? What is actually will happen when I am going to assign a value towards the property? All those things will happen behind the screen. Okay. So how to identify a program that will work in the browser window as well as that will work behind the screen by using this one statement is enough. So if I am going to get document.write, it represents that document object. Document is the window object. Is the method from the window object. So ultimately how it will behave, it will work in the browser window only. Okay. So but when we are coming for the subsequent methods, console.log, if it is going to come, ultimately what it will reflect, that it is going to execute behind the screen, right? So what are all the methods which are available in the or which are available for object? Okay, using object, what are all the methods that I am going to see? JavaScript have 7 basic objects actually, right? So we are going to see it one by one. So today we are going to work with the object named object. Okay, object. So that is the object that we are going to see today. Okay, so as well as I want to give one more way of using the method. Okay, so in the previous program that you have seen only variables. Here in JavaScript, you could be able to see this functionality. Function name is also or method name is also going to be used as an identifier. Okay, you could be able to see that ID, name, salary. These three variables are there. Initially, it is going to print 103, Sonu Aiswal 30,000. it will print that values as it is. Now I want to change the salary of only the salary field of EMP. So already 30,000 is there. I want to change it to 45,000. For that, I wrote a method function change salary of other salary. So I'm ready to point what is the current object is ready to point E. So E dot change salary of 45,000. That will be assigned using the statement this dot salary equal to other salary. So by that, that value will be assigned. So how I am assigning in the main function that it is going to call. So only at that values need to change. So how I am going to do that? That can be done using this dot change salary because it is going to return this value. So this dot change salary is equal to change salary. So this is the syntax that you need to remember. That was I have given in red code. Okay, so this dot function name is equal to function name. Okay, variable name as well as the function name is going to be equated here. So please remember that what is the value is being passed from change salary is stored in the change salary, right? So that will reflect. So next time when you are going to, so the second line in document dot write of b or e dot id dot name e dot salary will print 103 so on as well, but updated salary 45,000 will get to be printed. Okay, so that is the point I want to convey here. So now we will start with our objects. First method assign. Okay, assign object dot assign. You could able to see target sources. So towards whom I have to assign and what is the value that I am going to assign here. Okay, so remember that for all those things, outputs can be experienced, not visible. That is the idea. Okay, so please remember it will exhibit in terms or nature of the object. It will not show you outputs. For your understanding purpose, I have shown you the values. Okay, but actually it will exhibit its nature of it will show its action like your even handling, right? If I'm going to click a button, this click, if I'm going to, I could able to feel. If I'm going to press mouse over the button, I could able to get a feel. Immediately a message box will come. So such a type of experiences only can be retrieved from this. Although those experiences will be shared to you through browser objects only. That's the main idea, right? Please remember. So here I think you know about this keyword const. So you can't able to change those values. It will be available as it is. Here I have created two objects. Okay, object 1 and object 3, as well as I am creating two more objects 2 and 4. I am assigning those values towards 2 and 4. Okay, so I have mentioned const. Okay, a b c g h I. If you come for object 2, I am assigning c with 4, d with 5, right? Already c is having 3, but I am ready to change it to 4. As well as for object 4, I am ready to change g and h value. What is G? G is 34, H is 25. But when I'm going to print those, what's happening? Already what you have assigned in your const, it is available as it is. You can't able to change. This program is ready to narrate us. If I'm going to use this const, the values of matched with the property cannot be changed. So what it ready to convey? A built-in object's properties value cannot be changed. Okay, so that is the thing that people are ready to talk here. Okay, if I am going to click this close button in the browser window, it will close. Okay, if I am going to click that close button, whether it will minimize. So values what it is going to do or action what it is going to do cannot be changed. So that is the to reflect that only this demonstration object dot assign. This is the first method in the object. Second method, you can create your own object. That's the idea. You can create your own object. What that object need to do, you can write a function for that. Now they are educating you how to create an object. By creating your own object, make it as a built-in object for a browser. Please remember, you could able to create a object and make it as a built-in object for the browser. right? So here they are creating an object called people. What that people need to do, they are writing a function. Okay, so print introduction colon function. It is another style of writing a function, right? Please remember that. Print introduction. That is the name of the function. So what it need to do, console.log of, they are displaying something. My name is dollar. That value will be passed as a parameter. Next dot am I human dollar. This dot is human. So that is also being passed as a parameter. Okay, it is going to receive two parameters from outside and it is going to display them something. So people is an object which is used to display something in such a way that what it is going to display, people is a object which receives two parameters from outside and it is going to display along with the sentence which is available inside that corresponding object. Okay, so now I have mentioned what the function need to do, what the object need to do. For that I wrote a function. Now the task of creation is over. Now I need to actually trigger it. For that, the method I have given in red color. Okay, const me equal to object dot create of people. Now object people is created. Now it was mapped with me. Me is having the complete nature of create. That's all. So through me, what I am doing, I am passing two parameters. Me dot name, me dot is human. For me dot name, I am passing Mary. Me dot is human, I am passing true. When I am going to call the function me dot print introduction, what will happen ultimately? My name is Mary. Am I human? So for that, I will get the answer true. That's all, right? It's a very important program to understand. You can create your own object. So please remember that. For the purpose only, this program will help you, right? For your understanding purpose, I have given like this. You can create your own browser object or window object, right? So likewise, I could able to give a lot of examples on this. Okay, so next, define properties. So till now we know, we have seen uh, the assign method and the create method. Now we are going to define properties. Within object, what are all the properties? Or I could able to create attributes for the object. Okay. So what are all the properties it can have? Right. So I here you could able to see object. I have created an object one. Okay, I have created an object one. So I am ready to create the two properties for object one. What are they? Sorry, only one property I am going to create. What are they? Property one. That is the name of the property. So please remember property one. I am assigning a value 44. That's all. So console.log of object one dot property. It will retrieve me. It will retrieve me that value. Okay. So this is the way to define a property. So what that object need to do. So this is the way that I could able to define a property. Okay, define properties. See the method, define properties. So depending upon my arguments, that method name will change. Even I will see I'll show you a method called define property also. Okay, so define properties. What I will pass? I will pass the object and I will declare that property name as well as what is the value to be passed for the property. So that is also available here. So while I'm going to execute this program, I will get that 44 as the result. So object one dot property will retrieve me that. Next, object dot define property. Object dot define property, right? So what is the difference between previous method and the current method, right? Here I could able to post with a multiple number of values for the single property. That is the main difference between define properties and define property. Define properties could able to define more number of properties in such a way that for every property I could able to assign only one value, but here I could able to assign more than one value for the property one. But ultimately I could able to perform operations also. What is the last value in the property one, that will be resulted here. Please remember. So in the property one, I have value 2, value 4 plus 13. Okay, so what will happen? 4 plus 13. Operation will happen 17. When I am going to access object one dot property, what it will retrieve? It will retrieve me. What is the last value in value? In properties value, it will be 17. 2, 4, final operation is 4 plus 13, 17. So I will get 17. Right? So that is the idea behind this. So it will retrieve me 17. Next, object dot entries of object. Okay, so it's like I could able to create n number of property along with the values like an array. If I need to fetch a corresponding properties value, so what I have to do, I have to follow this syntax: object dot entries of object name location 2. The entries array will start with 0, so 0 1 2. Okay, it is ready to print carry, not 23. 23 is the property name, right? So what is the corresponding value? It need to print carry. Next, object dot freeze. Object dot freeze. So I'm going to pass the obj. The term freeze itself will convey that you could not able to change it further. Okay, so I cannot able to change that value assigned towards the property, because uh, using when you are going to work with more number of user defined objects, some other user may have the priority or have the ability to change the value assigned towards a important property, right? So in that case, if other users should not disturb your properties value, means you have to freeze it. So how to do that? I have created an object 1. For the property 1, I have assigned a value. I have assigned that property as freeze. Okay, so that's the value for that property 1, value freeze. Okay, don't confuse that, value freeze, or you can change the RIT for that. So what will happen when constant obj2 dot object dot freeze of obj1? So I have freezed it. That means the value available in property 1 could not be changed. That's what being mentioned over there. I could not be able to change that. So in the next line you could able to see, using object 2, I am ready to change the value of property 1. Already you have freeze. Now I'm going to change with the new underscore data. If I'm going to print this, I will get the value as freeze only, not new underscore data, because already we have freezed the value of the attribute property 1. So that's the idea behind this. Next. So people who are working with hacking and designing their own browsers, right? Designing customized browsers for mobile phones, designing customized web interaction environments. For those people, these programs will help them a lot. So object dot get own property descriptor. It's a main method. Get own property descriptor. Descriptor is nothing but a handle. Okay. So the next level for object handle. Instead of accessing the object, I will access the descriptor. That's the main thing. So the concept has been derived from VC++. In VC++, we will have a handle instead of the term object. The same way here they are using the term descriptor. I have created two objects, object 1 and object 2. Every object has its own property, property 1 and property 2. Both of them will have that values 42 and 34. Now next I am creating descriptors. So descriptor 1, descriptor 2. So using the get one property descriptor method, I am mapping object with the descriptor. So object 1 is mapped with the descriptor 1 for the property 1. Object 2 is mapped with the descriptor 2 for property 2. Right? Descriptor 1 dot enumerable. So that means already we have user defined mapped that one, because the descriptor is mapped with an object, so ultimately it will give us true, because descriptor 1 is mapped with the object 1, descriptor 2 is mapped with the object 2. So first two statements will give us value true. Next, descriptor 1 dot value, I am not using object to access the value, please remember, or I am not using property to access the value, I have used the handle, right? The descriptor. So descriptor 1 dot value will give me 42. Descriptor 2 dot value will give me 34. So please remember that it's a second level way of security measure to work with these types of handlers. Okay, so please remember, because in a web environment, it is good to create, it is good to show the handlers towards the outside world, and for developers, we can work with the objects. Okay, so that is the reason that the introduction of descriptors and handlers here. Next, the same way, get own property descriptors, that here we are going to work with the pass as a object. The same way that you could be able to see that. So what's the difference between a previous one and current one? Get own property descriptor. I am passing object as well as the property, but here I am passing only the object. So by passing only object, how could I able to do with that? So further additionally, you have to incorporate a built-in identifier. That's all. So I have created two objects. Each object is having its own property. They are having their own values. Next, to using the same, I have created two descriptors. Both the descriptors are mapped to the respective objects. So now, how to access that? Handle descriptor dot property one dot writable, right? That writable, what it represents, I could able to manage with the descriptors. That is the idea here. Okay. So writable ultimately will give us true only. Okay. So how I am accessing that value? Descriptors one dot property one dot value. It is ready to retrieve me 42. Descriptors 2 dot property 2 dot value. It will retrieve me 23. Right? Using object only, we are ready to access it. The term, right? Handle dot property dot value. That's what object. So I am ready to using my object to access the values of the corresponding attributes. Next, property name. What is this property name is? It is ready to retrieve me the property name. That means variables. That's what I'm going to given over there. So instead of values, it is ready to retrieve me the attributes or properties. Object one has three properties: A, B, C. Only those will be retrieved, not values A, B, C. So ultimately, the output for the previous program is A, B, C. It is going to retrieve me the variables what I have used as a, or the identifiers what I have used as the property name. Please remember. So it will give me the output A, B, C. And next, object dot get own property symbols. Okay, get own property symbols. So const object one. I have created an object. So here how they want to reduce means using an object, or how many properties are using our object, right? How many properties are using our object, that can be identified very easily. See, it could be like data analytics, right? For example, in a cloud computing, the particular service is used by how many users, so that can be identified by, because service will be available centrally. So how many number of users, user 1, user 2, user 3, like this, an object will be created and given towards them. Using that, they will access the corresponding service. So how many number of objects that I have created, that can be retrieved through this. Okay, so that's such an interesting one. So I have created A, that's going to be the symbol. Again B, I am creating the symbol, right? So for B I have created. So there are two ways. Symbol dot for. Both of them will ready to identify that A and B are symbols. That's all. Okay. So A and B are two created objects. So they are only using the corresponding object one. So A and B. So object symbols dot length will ready to retrieve me the value 2. Okay, please remember value 2. Okay, it will retrieve me there, because we are talking about the length. It will retrieve 2. So A and B are the objects which are created, which are being A and B are the symbols which are created for the objects. So object symbols dot length will give me 2. So please remember on that. Next, object dot get prototype of object. This is something interesting, that if you want to learn about any built-in object, this is the way to, this simple code will tell, because some users will hide their logic, what their program is actually doing, what their object is actually doing, right? So how can we retrieve it using this, that we could able to do that? But it is something unethical. But this is the way, right? As well as whether the object is behaving as it is like the previous object, the built-in object and user-defined object are behaving equally, right? Instead of using the term equally, I could able to use the term identical, similar. For the purpose only here, we are using triple equal to. Okay, triple equal to. See, and you could able to see that I am creating two prototypes. Okay, I am creating two prototypes. Here, prototype also object only. Please remember, prototype one is the object, prototype two is an object, and the other object one and object two. How I am mapping with that? Prototype one is an object is mapped with the object one. Prototype two is an object mapped with the object two using the method create. Remember that the create method is from the first one. That's what we have seen. So what we are going to check whether prototype of object one is same as that of prototype two, as well as prototype of object two is same as that of prototype two. That's all. That's what we are going to verify over on that. Ultimately, it will yield me the value true. Okay, because they are not going to differ in any aspect. We have not defined any values. We have not defined any properties. We have not defined any values. Simply, we have created an object. For those objects, we have created some prototype. Prototype is nothing but how it need to behave, right? So for that, you can write some code and they could be able to check, right? If you want to demo further, that you could be able to assign two values and add it, assign two values and multiply it. In that case, the prototypes will differ. That's all. Okay, when both prototypes are going to add numbers, then it is going to give true. If it is going to give some other thing, it is going to give false. So please remember that the role of object is mapped with the prototype here. Okay, it is, but this program will get you the whether signature. They won't check with the signature. They will check with the activity of the prototype, whether they are equal or not, or logic of the prototype. That is the idea here. Next, object dot is. This is method can be combined with any built-in methods. Please remember, because it is going to retrieve us a boolean value. I could be able to compare this value 1 comma value 2. That could be the syntax. There is an object. For that object, I am having the property. Property value is 56. First, I am going to ask object dot is of object, right? Object dot is of object 1. I'm going to ask is of object 1, right? So till now it was not being executed, or we have not used, we have not performed any operations over object 1. Okay, we have not performed any operations over object 1. I have not created, I have not assigned, I have not performed any operations over on object 1. Ultimately, first console.log of object dot is of object 1 will give me false, because I have not performed any operations over object 1. Second thing, see that I'm using a method object dot seal of object 1. Now I am closing the object, or I am protecting the object. No one should change that values of the property. For the purpose only, I am sealing that object 1. Ultimately, I am protecting that property 1. Okay, so I have performed an operation over the object 1. So what will happen? Console dot log of object is sealed of object 1. Okay, is sealed of object 1. Ultimately, what will happen? Is sealed of object 1. It is going to give us a true, because we have sealed that object. The object is going to check is sealed. Yes, it is sealed. It's going to perform. Likewise, you can have a method called a extensible. Is extensible. So likewise, I could able to map with any methods. That's what is nothing like a prefix. So after is, I could able to suffix any method and I could able to check whether that particular operation has performed over on the object or not. That's all. To check that, I could able to use this. Next, prevent extensions, right? Prevent extensions. It's something with the object. Already we have seen with the property. I can't be able to do anything with the property. I should not do anything with the object. In that case, this will help us. Object dot prevent extensions of object. Further, I can't. I could not be able to do anything with the object. That's what prevent extensions. For example, obj.o. Okay, o is the property. I am assigning the value 3. Now obj dot has own property o. Okay, obj has one property O. Check that constant obj equal to empty curly brace. Have you defined any property? No. Have we assigned any value to a property? No. It is an empty curly brace. But the third line, what we did, obj dot o. I have created a property O. I have assigned a value to that property. Whether it is happening over there, no, it's not possible, because before the line itself we have given prevent extensions of object. What is available in object till now, it is okay. Further, you can't do any manipulation over on the object. That's what prevent extensions of object. So when you are going to create your own user defined object, if someone, if others should not come and alter your code, or they don't want to inherit your code and do further, in that case you can protect your particular object using this prevent extensions of that particular object method, right? So ultimately it is going to retrieve as a false only, right? So that's the idea behind that. So object dot seal also already we could able to see that, right? So seal is ready to convey that. I could not able to do anything over on that. As well as you could able to see here, there is a keyword delete. So if I sealed an object, I can't do any operations over on that. Even if I'm going to delete that object one dot property one, already object one is being protected, right? It is sealed. I can't do anything. If I'm going to give delete operation, I will get error. So I will get error for this program. So please remember the last line you check delete object one dot property one. Check the third line object dot seal of object one. I have sealed the object. I can't do any further operations here. Even you could be able to see that, right? I have sealed the object one. Okay, I have sealed the object one. After sealing the object one, I can't do any operations over on that. Ultimately, what it will ready to do that, you can't delete that object also, right? That is the advantage of sealing the object, right? This is seal and prevent extensions are the complete secure standards for your object, right? So next, set prototype of. So uh, how to create prototype for your object, or if you want to copy any other prototype, you can do that. For example, you are going to create a plugin. Already the plugin is the function of the plugin is it is screen recording. This is the function of the corresponding code. So what you want to enhance along with the screen recording, you want to add your company logo or college logo or your organization logo. So whenever I am going to open the screen record, by default at the right hand side bottom corner, my organization logo has to come. This is the additional code that you are going to record, that you are going to incorporate along with the screen recording operation. Okay, so in that case, this set prototype of obj comma prototype, that is helpful. You could be able to see that I am creating an object Toyota. It's having a function drive. It is returning something, and I am creating camera. So it is having a method Wi-Fi. It is returning some value, right? So when I am going to create, so what I am doing, object dot set prototype of Camry comma Toyota. So it is ready to set the prototype to Camry. So please remember that it is ready to set the prototype of Toyota to Camry. So ultimately, we are going to print, see console.dir will print what is available in the corresponding object to be mapped, that will be available. So camera.wi-fi will return carry ultimately. So what is the function of the camera will return? It is ready to print the camera's object. So the output will be like this. So what is available, because we have copied the function of Toyota. Okay, object that represents two objects. What are the objects? Toyota and Camry, right? So we have copied the functionalities of Camry with copied the functionalities of Toyota with the Camry. That is the reason why Toyota functionality is available here. What is the function of Toyota? See that drive, return driving data, that is available here, right? I am ready to retrieve the corresponding value. So it is going to work with the carry. So as you will be able to see, not only copied, it is ready to convey with the appending nature of the corresponding function also. Both the functions are available for the single object. Operation 1, operation 2. Do you understand? So Toyota is having an operation 1, Camry is having an operation 2. Screen recording is in one option, logo incorporation is another operation. So when I am going to perform set prototype of, it will combine both the natures inside drive. You got it, right? It is ready to combine both objects into both the functionalities into the single method or single object, right? So that's the idea behind this section. Set prototype of, please remember that. So object dot values, so it's a very simple one. So if you want to retrieve that variables, we will use the term symbols. If you want to retrieve the values, we will use the method values. Ultimately, it will print as an array, a list, Rahul 0 false, because object dot values of object. So values of object means what is the values of its properties? A, B, C. What are the properties? Rahul 0 false. So that will be printed. So that's what we have seen. So in today's session, we have discussed about the various methods of the corresponding object. So from the decreasing fashion, the values method is ready to return the values. Prototype is ready to combine the functionalities of more than one function. Seal, it prevents something to done over on the object, prevent extensions. It is also in the creamy layer to prevent the modifications over on the object. Is this method can be prefixed with any methods of objects so that it will return a boolean value. Get prototype of, it is ready to check the identicality of the or similarity of the two objects. Get own property symbols, I could able to create my variables for the corresponding object. Get own property names, right? So I could able to get the names over here. That's the values of that variables can be retrieved here. Okay, get one property descriptor, creating handlers using object. I'm going to access here directly using only handler. I'm going to access the using descriptor. I'm going to access the values here, and the freeze method. I can't be able to further change the value of the property available in the object. Okay, so entries, which is entries of object, I could able to get the value by mentioning the location of the corresponding attribute. Okay, so define property which could able to mention the value along with the operations. What is the last value available in the property that will be derived as the output. Define properties, as well as for define property I could able to assign multiple values for a single property, but define properties I could able to assign only one property, one value with one property, as well as multiple number of properties I could able to define here. Okay, so by creating a function could be assigned with a object, that object can be created using create method, as well as what's the functionality that could able to do, that could be assigned using this. Once I have used assign, if I'm going to use the const qualifier, ultimately I could not be able to change anything further for the corresponding variable. So these are all the methods of the object that what we have seen, as well as we have seen how to use the function name as the identifier. That is also we have seen here. There are three ways of creating the or instantiating the object. First one is using object constructor, right? Second one is using the instance, and third one is using the a normal literal, right? So that's what we have seen in today's session. Happy learning. Thank you. We'll meet in the next session.